Hello and welcome to the STB Racing League Season 17 Tier 2 Championship. And tonight we're at round 8 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I'm joined again by DJ Danny in the commentary box. Gravity is still away, he should be back next week. But yep, I'm joined by DJ Danny again tonight. So, how are you tonight, Danny?
I'm alright, thank you. Yes, should be an interesting race tonight. I mean, we've got a decent grid, so hopefully it's a good race.
Yep. Straight out the blocks, it's looking like very nice weather here in qualifying. Obviously, we haven't got the forecast for the race, so there could be some rain in store, but I would say it's more unlikely around this track. We don't see a mass amount of rain. But yeah, going into tonight's race, FNT Kevin is on a 3-race win streak at the moment, so yeah, he's really showing his worth and really making his way towards the championship more and more. He's a long way out in front at the top of the driver's standings, so we'll see what he can do tonight. But yeah, I'm sure he'll be hotly contested as he was last week in Monaco. He won on penalties in the end. Pitbull held him up for a lot of the race on a very used set of tyres, but one penalty in the end was enough for Kevin to win the race. But we've got LCR Typhon in the party tonight. We're going to be interviewing him very briefly, so Typhon, if you want to include your audio, we'll give you a couple of questions. Okay, so at the moment, Typhon's having some connection issues, so we will get round to interviewing him. But for now, Cineflow is about to start his lap here in qualifying. Yeah, so strategy is expected to be a soft to hard for the race, but of course we don't know what the weather's going to do. At the moment, everybody is on a set of softs. Nobody's going for a set of mediums. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see if anybody does risk on a set of mediums. It looks like Cineflow's backed off his lap already, so I'm not sure what happened to him.
Yeah, the thing is with Azerbaijan, it can be one of those races where it can easily be a bone dry race, or you can have it absolutely chop it down. I mean, we haven't really seen much wet weather in real life Formula 1 round back in, but especially on the F1 game, we have had a couple of wet races that I've always seen if I just hit the wall there. But yeah, the castle section is definitely an interesting place in the dry, let alone the wet. So yeah, definitely interesting what the strategy would be if there is any late or mid-race rain. But who knows?
Well, we did obviously mention the streak that Kevin's on at the moment, him being the favourite probably going into this race, but who do you see as realistically challenging him for the race tonight?
I think Matty could be in with a chance if he can get the lap together. I mean, he did pretty well in Tier 1 yesterday. Got decent points, and obviously in Tier 2 he's probably in the upper half of the grid, so Matty possibly. Kevin did very well as well, so quite difficult to beat, I think. Yeah, it's too hard to call, really. There's a lot of good drivers in here, but it can be so close as well, so we shall see.
Well, Enzo's currently on provisional pole. Only 2 drivers have set a lap, but 37.9 is a pretty decent banker lap. The pole yesterday was a 37.2 from Bruno Will. So that is what they'll be aiming for, but obviously that is for tier 1, so it's going to be challenging for them to get near it. But yeah, I'd say if they're within a few tenths of that, then they're going to be quite happy with the laps they set.
Yeah, 37.9 is a good bank lap. I mean, I didn't even get into the 37s yesterday, so to get a 37.9 right out of that is a very good lap. Matt doing a 140.2 on the mediums.
Yep, Pitbull goes P2. None of them have matched Enzo's time at the moment, but we saw Kevin peel into the pits just at the end of his lap, so obviously he wasn't happy with how his went. He's got plenty of time to come back out and do a couple more laps at least. Plenty of time left in the session, but he is still in the pit lane, so he's leaving it quite late if he wants to do 2 final laps and 2 sets of tyres. But Kat is going for his second run on his set of tyres. He invalidated his first run.
Definitely interesting because the soft tyres aren't exactly the most durable tyres around. You're looking at about 6-7% wear after one lap, so depending on how early he backed out of that lap, his tyres will be pretty worn.
Well, he's coming across the line now, and he sets a 39.1, which is good enough for P2 at the moment. But yeah, that is 2 laps on those sets, on that set of softs. So I'm sure he's not going to want to start the race on those. I think he was probably concerned that he wouldn't get that second run in, and he'd have no banker, and only get one realistic run. So that might be in the back of his mind, as we see Victor's just coming up to the line as well. He had a good pace in the race last week in Monaco, so we'll see what he can do in this one. Only a second race in STB, and he does put it in P2, 38.6, still a bit of a distance off of Enzo at the moment.
Yeah, there's a bit of social distancing going on here.
Well, apart from Kat and Pitbull, you're not wrong. Yeah, Kevin is still in the pits, Danny.
That is interesting.
He won't get 2 flying runs in. Yeah.
He's just coming out now, by the looks of it, on a set of mediums.
Okay. So maybe he is going for to start on mediums. I wouldn't have said that that he necessarily would have needed to.
I don't see the great benefit in starting on mediums. I mean, obviously it allows you to go longer in that first stint, but you can easily do a soft to hard, so I guess he wants that security maybe, or the weather is looking a bit more wet for the race.
Well, possibly, yeah. See Sinfloyd trying to jump out where the driver's coming through. There's a fair few of them coming past. That's Kevin on his outlap. As we see, Maudi's getting held up there by... That's Matt on an outlap. So that's not good from the Mercedes driver. But yeah, we do have El Shaft Typhon in the party finally. So, Typhon, if you'd like to include your audio, just give you a couple of questions for this race. So, it's not been the best seasons for you so far. Sorry to interrupt, but Maudi not happy with Matty there, and he has slowed right down. Yeah, not good from the pair of those two. But yeah, Typhon, you haven't had the best season so far. It hasn't quite gone your way. Are you feeling that this is one that you can turn it around and try and get a good result?
Hoping to. Azerbaijan's obviously a decent track for over the weekend. Obviously, I had some unfortunate events, I could say, starting off with the season, but we're pushing for points hopefully for this race now, coming up.
And where are you aiming for recently for qualifying and the race? Who do you think you're going to be fighting, and what positions are you aiming for?
Qualifying, I think my quality pace probably won't be as good as expected, possibly 10th, 11th, but my race pace I'm hoping to at least come in the top 6.
And as for the races that are left in the season, obviously we're only a third of the way through the season. Which ones are you looking forward to most? What are your favourite tracks?
Mainly the European circuits like Italy, Hungary is a good one as well on the calendar. And obviously Belgium as well. So I'm just looking for when they come up I can hopefully jump up the table a little bit.
Lovely. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Typhon. Wish you the best of luck for the race. So, Danny, I'm watching Kevin's lap right now. It's not really been the cleanest of laps so far. He's sort of drifted wide a couple of times. I wouldn't be surprised to see him come into the pit lane and possibly stick on a set of softs.
Yeah, it's not been the best lap, and the meetings aren't exactly quick times either for qualifying. I'd expect him to be maybe a 39, as he does a 39.3. It's an okay lap, but he's going to be out qualified by quite a few people, I'd expect. But yeah, it's definitely interesting strategy. I guess he's got one run on the softs now to go for pole, but yeah. And the thing is as well, you don't want to be really in that mid-pack, because with the first corner being so short from the start line, it's quite easy to snatch a brake, lose the front wing, and yeah, it's one of those where the strategy is not something that I think is conventional. But let's see what he does in the last 4 minutes. He's got time for another lap, so expect him to be out on a set of softs, but we shall see.
Well, currently nobody's even got close to FXBR Enzo, who's currently on provisional pole position. Danger Man's backed out of his lap. He will be coming into the pit lane. And I think Dambos will be the next to cross the line, but he is on an in-lap, I believe. As is Kevin. So at the moment, not a lot of action, I think, down the field. As Maudi's retired from the session. I'm not sure what that is, because we've got yellow flags for 2 lots of Renaults. I think that is on the track. I think Matt's about to come past it now. Yeah, it is on track, so...
He looked at them.
Yeah, I'm sure that would definitely be looked at by the stewards. See Victor just coming up to the line now. He sets 38.1, but I think that will be his final lap, Danny. So, yeah, decent lap from Red Bull, but Enzo's still got time to go again and improve.
Yeah, he may. No, he won't be able to. I was going to say,
just hit the wall.
You don't want to be crossing the line with about 5 minutes to go to get in and get out, really.
Yeah.
So all the guys currently in the pits, so Matt down to Danger Man currently in the pits. I've got one more lap. Martino in the Williams is coming out for his, looks like his one and only run. It'll be interesting to see where he can get that Williams.
Well, Typhon's on his one and only run by the looks of it as well. It hasn't looked like the perfect lap realistically for the McLaren, but we'll see where it puts him. He's just navigating the final few flat out corners.
That's a lot of short shifting. He was straight into 8th gear then, so I don't know whether he's going to be boxing, but he won't have time. He's boxing.
No, yeah, I think he is coming up to the line. No, he is going to pin into the pit lane. So that's Typhon's session up and done with. Victor is He's run out of fuel. He was flooring it, trying to get back into the pits, but yeah, he's not going to have enough time. Wazzy is currently on a lap, but he looks like he's way down on the time that he needs to do.
That's
So he
going
may
to
be, yeah,
7.
29.5. Yeah, it does put him P7, but there are a couple of people on mediums and people who haven't set laps as well. So I think Martineau will be the first person to start his final run. So we'll watch him as he navigates this tight, twisty street circuit. He breaks down into turn 1, about 125 metres. Tries to hit the apex. You can ride the exit curb on the outside very nicely. Very awkward corner this one, down into second gear, short shift back up to third. Opens the DRS flat now.
You've got to avoid the curve on that one, especially as we've seen in previous years, 2017, Kimi Räikkönen and Valtteri Bottas, as he goes a bit deep there. A decent first sector so far, slightly deep into turn.
He's locked up the front though.
And he has got a car in front of him.
Trying to pick up a distant toe, but yeah, there's 2 cars in front of him through the castle section, which is the worst place to have him, and he has gone a little bit deep through there as well.
Oh, it's a little bit
well, but can he get the castle section right? He's just missed the apex, nearly put him on the right hand wall, but navigates it all right. He's going to play wide on exit, and he has validated. So that is his session over and done with, I think. Wazzy is just coming up to the line. He carried on his lap and he is up on his time slightly. As he crosses the line, checker flag is out and he sets a 39.0. Danny, we see a lot of drivers on out laps currently.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's a
timing glitch or they are taking...
I think it might be a timing glitch as Wazzy, he has, well...
Wazzy's checker flag.
No, he's got a checker flag and his ghost is taken over. So, I don't know about that, but
Matt's starting his lap now.
Stewart's inquiry. Yeah, Cat has started his lap. There's loads of drivers still to cross the line.
All of them. Mostly all of them are.
So we may have a timing glitch on our end. We'll have to wait and see about that.
It's
after the
David
race. So Davi's session's definitely over. But we'll watch Kata. Kata should be the first one to cross the line. There is Danger Man in front of him, so... So Davi has retired from the session. That'll be in the pit lane. Kata looking very committed through the castle section. And on the exit as well. So it's looking like an alright lap so far. We'll see his second sector delta. Whether he is up on his time. He's going to need about 7/10 improvement on his lap to realistically be in with a shot of pole position. He is 5/10 up, so I don't think it's going to be enough. You can't really gain a massive amount of time through these final corners. But it could be challenging for front row here. Are we going to see a racing point 1-2 for the start of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix? It's a long run to the line. He's got enough ERS left in the tank to go hot for the whole way down the straight. As he comes across the line now, takes the tightest line he can, and he just misses out. 38.117, he's 6 thousandths behind Victor. As Matty comes across the line, and he didn't improve in the end, or he did slightly, sorry. 38.5. Kevin's on a lap on a set of mediums. Is this not the same set of mediums he set a lap on before?
It will be, yeah. What's he going to do? Up to P6.
39 flat. So not a bad lap on the mediums, but I think those tyres have done 3 odd laps now.
Yeah, an out lap and in lap. Yeah.
Interesting. Obviously, there was a lot of drivers that we saw on our end that started their laps when the time was up. I can confirm the drivers were briefed in the week about that situation, and it was made clear by the stewards that there would be penalties given if they were found to be breaching the rules. But whether that did happen or not will be an inquiry after. But yeah, there was a lot of drivers if that is the case. Yeah, Enzo's first run in the end was enough for pole position. So yeah, he lines up P1, only driver to get in the oh, sorry Danny, we just missed at the end. Victor did set a better lap, and in the end he was 13 hundredths, sorry 13 thousandths off of Enzo. So
I didn't even notice.
yeah, I didn't pick up on that once, but yep, it is Enzo that will start on pole. Victor alongside him, missing up with the slimmest of margins. Timar Kata will start P3. Matty Banter will start in P4. Pitbull down in P5. Kevin on the medium tyres will start in P6. Wazzy behind him in P7. Dan Boss and Cineflow also on the mediums in 8th and 9th. FXBR Davi will start in P10. Dangerman was the only other driver to set a lap in P11. And Typhon, Martineau and STB Maudi did not set any lap times.
Bit of rain with the tyre choice of the, especially with Kevin.
I'm not sure about Kevin's strategy, but you know we'll wait and see for the race. It is dry, a lot of sunshine, so it's not looking like it's gonna threaten even to rain. But it's a long race, so we don't know what's gonna happen later on. But yes, I mean it will. If he can get a good start and stick with the top guys, after about 4 or 5 laps, he will be on the quicker tyre. But at that point, they're going to be looking to box for a set of hards regardless.
This is the thing.
Hards will go to the end.
Yeah, this is the thing. I don't, because he will then switch around and be on the slower tyre, because he would have done 7, 8 laps on them tyres. And I believe the mediums can only really go to what, lap 12, lap 13.
Yeah.
It's definitely an interesting strategy, but
We'll have to keep an eye on how he does and his progress at the start. But yeah, the soft tyres are very, very fast for the first 3 odd laps. And then it sort of swings back towards the mediums. But I don't think that's really enough for him to make the advantage work.
So Typhon is on a set of hards, everyone else is on mediums and softs. With STB Maudi.
Maudi's gone for a set of softs at the back, so he wants to make some places up early on. Cineflow's already been disqualified on the formation lap. He didn't seem to move off the grid, and I don't know if you just saw that glitch on your end, but TMR Kata's driver was flagpoling off the top of his car. So interesting way to drive Formula 1 car.
Codemasters giving us great entertainment sometimes. So we've got Victor in a Racing Point sandwich.
He's looking very quick from the races we've seen so far, backed up by his qualifying lap. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Kevin, if he is going to win his 4th race in a row, he's got some work to do. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a race of attrition at the end of the day. Enzo's a big slides out the top of the castle section. My money would be on FXBR Victor, I think. Yeah, I think he's looked quite racy. His pace is looking pretty decent. So yeah, I'll go for Victor for the win.
I think I'm going to go with Enzo. I think obviously he got pole and he has looked quick, but it's whether he's got that race pace. I mean, we don't know. Obviously, these guys do know each other, and so hopefully there will be clean racing between them. But yeah, I think it's going to be definitely a tight one. So yeah, hopefully it's an exciting race. We have got a few drivers that have been disqualified, so they're going to be on very cold tyres.
Yeah,
which,
especially Cineflow who didn't move.
yeah,
Those tyres are going to be stone cold, but yeah, hopefully we see a good battle, at least for the top two, but as well from the guys behind, if they can get involved. That would be very good. As Typhon lines up at the back of the grid. We have got lights on our screen, but I don't think they are actually the lights. I see they're going out. But yep, revving up the engines now. So we will watch as the drivers now get started from the front. We see who gets the better start. It looks like Victor's had an incredible start, and he's already down the inside at turn one.
Side by
Side. And Enzo's there's been a bit of a tap by Matt. He's nearly lost the car completely. But now Enzo's going to look to get the position back on Victor. And he's gone deep and he's in the wall. And there's been carnage, and it looks like Cineflow is out. He's hit the wall. There's carbon fibre everywhere. Front wings flying. Enzo looks possibly to get away with that damage. You see Kata's gone up the inside for the lead. And they're side by side now as Victor's looking to hold on against another racing point this time. Cat around the outside. He's made the move stick. Brilliant move from the racing point. And that's also going to give Pitbull the incentive to get past Victor. Victor's had an awful start and he's down to P3.
Kata went into his teammate by the look of it. The racing point hit the back of his teammate and it sent him into deep into the corner. I mean, we've got one racing point leading, but we've also got
a virtual safety car. Virtual safety car is out. And I mean, we were talking about not great starts, but someone who had an incredible start. LCR Typhon is all the way up into P6 in a set of hards.
That could be a good strategy. Kevin, P7, obviously those medium tyres have not been great for him. Depending on when this virtual safety car ends, we could see a few people in danger here. I mean, FNT, Dan Boss, it depending on when this ends, they could be in danger of getting
They've got to time it right. It's at a critical stage of the lap. You know, if they bolt it too early, they're going to have to slow right down. It looks as if we're about to go green. It is. And Victor's looking for the move back on Pitbull already. And Typhon's going aggressive. We see Pitbull in the pits. So Pitbull has come into the pits. Typhon attacking on Downboss. They've squeezed each other on the inside, and Typhon's out, and he's in the wall. Oh, it was a brilliant start from McLaren. They it was 2 into 1, didn't go, as we now see Matty's being aggressive on Victor. He may go for the move, doesn't think about it at this stage. Wazzy as well is pressuring Kevin, who's now on the back of Downboss. But yeah, I think I couldn't tell from my position, but it looked pretty 50-50. I think Downboss squeezed him, but I feel like there was still maybe enough room on the inside. But obviously the hard tyres this early on with full fuel, he realistically needed a bit more space.
Yeah, I think he was put off the curb boot as well, which upset the car. So that obviously didn't help. I mean, I'm sure there'll be a steering inquiry into that. As always with any incidents, we're just making sure they're looked at. But Victor,
the issue for Typhon is obviously that he's on a set of hards. His only set of hards for the weekend. So what his strategy is going to look like from here, obviously he's going to need a safety car at some point to get that free pit stop, and also to be at the right time.
I guess as well he could go onto the mediums and then switch back onto that set of hards, because they've only done 2 laps.
Maudi on the back of Wazzy. Maudi's had a brilliant start from the back of the grid, Danny, and Wazzy goes defensive, but Maudi looking to get the move around the outside, and Wazzy dives one straight back up the inside. And Maudi's going to try and hold it around the outside, has a big slide next to it, and Wazzy's giving him a squeeze. Good racing from the pair of these. Maudi's going to go all the way around the outside of turn 2. Can he get the move finally done? He does, and he's past Wazzy. Good racing from the two of them, but Maudi's had a brilliant start, and he's still looking to go on those softs and possibly challenge Kevin ahead of him. And Downboss as well.
Started from the back. It's been a good race from Maudi, and he's closing in. I don't think Kevin's struggling a bit on those mediums. I mean, Downboss and Kevin are both on the medium tyres, and Maudi is catching.
Just as a side note, Typhon has gone on a set of mediums. Obviously, he had to box for a front wing change, but a set of mediums for the McLaren driver. So we'll see what he can do in this race. I didn't see, but I mean, it's the only logical answer, realistically, as it's very, very early. Pit, obviously. So yeah, I think it'll be that finish. You see Victor now is on the back of Kata, and he's looking for the move, taking back that position from the racing point. Kata goes defensive on the inside. Got very good straight line speed. Victor's going to have to use a bit more of his overtake, but Kata's switched back to the outside, and he's given Victor the inside line. So it should be an easy move for the Red Bull driver, and he gets a move up into P1, but Kata gets a switch back through turn 1. And I think Kata's got a bit of front wing damage. He has, Danny. He's missing his right end end plate. Yes, I would assume so, but it's taken Victor a while to get past him. I wonder if he's got some damage as well. As Kata's going to fight back here. Oh, back up the inside into turn 3, and he's got the inside line. And now Victor's going to get the switch back. Are they going to go side by side through turn 4 and 5 as well? And then too tight. Oh, Victor gave him a squeeze. And I think that's got away with damage, but it's lost him a massive amount of time.
Matt straight up the back.
Needs a bit more room. Yeah, and Maudi is now on the back of Dan Boss. Kevin's got past Dan Boss as well. Yeah, Matt really pressuring Kumar Kata now. Victor looking to fly away into the distance. I'm just going to try and see. Yeah, it looks like Victor's got no damage. He's had a slide at the top of the castle. He's had a massive moment, and that's going to give Kata the DRS back. And now Kevin, Dan, Maudi, and Wazir, Enzo are going to. Yeah, they're going to be a massive train. So yeah, Kata's coming straight back at him. Victor with a big mistake. So whether Kata's going to obviously dive one up the inside, I'm not going to be happy with the incident between the two of them.
I mean, first to 7th, they're all nearly within DRS.
Well, even first to 8th as well. But yeah, Victor's looking to come in the pit lane here possibly. Nope, they both cross it, but here comes Kata. Not using overtake, but the DRS is enough for him to go to the outside line. Is he going to get the move done into turn 1? Very wide, but he... Oh, and he spun! Victor spun! Oh, it's disastrous for the Red Bull, but he's managed to keep it out of the wall. And Maudi's now at the inside of Dambos. Dambos has held it around the outside. Was there contact into turn 1 there, Danny?
There was. There's a bit of a squeeze from Kata. It was side by side. It was very similar to the Typhon and a situation with Dambos. But it looks like Victor's got away with no wing damage from that
still in this race. Yeah, he's going to look to get on the back of Maudi. These two obviously on the same tyre, but Maudi's were fresh as he got free tyre choice. Starting outside the top 10 as Typhon has retired. He maybe picked up another bit of wing damage, so he's had enough in this race. Maudi's gone deep. Oh, I think he got away with that.
I thought that was it there.
He's still struggling with those softs. He may be looking to box this lap. Definitely, he's just falling off the back of Dambos. As we see, Matt is looking very racy now. Kata with the front wing damage. Matty in prime position for a good result here. See how slow Kata is through those medium speed corners. Matt's already pretty much pushing him through the final 2 corners. And Kata's whacked the wall as well. I think Kata's going to have to box this lap from the front wing. Kevin is also right behind Matty here, so Matty could be in trouble. Yep, Kata's boxed. Kata peels into the pit lane, and yeah, Kevin's getting closer and closer to the Mercedes driver. Damos is following him. Maudi's also boxed with Timar Kata. And yeah, they'll be going on hards to the end.
Front wing change for both of them.
For Maudi as well.
Yep. So he must have had light damage there.
Yeah, that'll explain why he has so much time. But yeah, Kevin looking in a good position now.
Oh.
As Martin has left this session. I think Kevin's really struggling, Danny.
It's
He seems to have
yeah.
the same confidence that he's had in the last few races.
I mean,
But
both
yeah,
Matty,
he's still in a very good result. It's in a very good position for a good result in this race.
yeah, both Matty and Kevin both have similar amounts of ERS. I mean, Matty and Kevin have basically got full
Yeah, so
ERS.
is Damos as well. I would expect those that are still on the softs to box this lap. Obviously, the ones that have come in earlier, they had front wing changes, so they shouldn't get an undercut on them. But yeah, it's not really going to help any of them staying out any longer. So yeah, Kevin's he's had a good start. He's kept himself out of trouble as he usually does, and in a good place realistically to get a. Oh, he's on for a shot at the win at least. So let's see how his strategy plays out as we see Matt heading into the pit lane. We'll watch the guys behind as well. Victor comes in, but Enzo stays out. So Enzo's pit window just opened, as you see on the screen, lap 7. So he's staying out an extra lap, which is very, very interesting. See how that goes compared to the two that have just boxed, May and Victor. As Matt is going to exit the pit lane now, just ahead of Wazee, who's on a fresh set of mediums. And he's got Danger Man just behind him as well. And Victor's lost out quite a lot in that pit stop. I'm not sure why. He's about 4 seconds or 3 seconds down the road from Matt now.
I think he might have had a front wing change. Or got hold.
Possibly, yeah. Well, the time that he lost realistically would have been a wing change by the looks of it. But yeah, I'm very surprised to see Enzo still out on those set of softs.
I guess having even an extra lap helps you at the end, but the problem is
It's going to lose him so much time.
Oh, he's nearly lost it into sector 3 nearly. Back end just didn't want to grip, and that's lost him even more time. I can't currently see the gaps.
Yeah, half of them are working for me, half of them aren't. I'm currently watching Wazee on the back of Matt. Wazee obviously on the much quicker tyre. It could be an issue for Matt. As obviously Matt is battling for the victory at the moment, whereas Wazee's got another pit stop. So realistically he is not going to be challenging for that win. And he is trying to go for the move here on Matt. You can see how much quicker he is through that final sector.
I guess the thing is
he's
for
going to get
Matt,
past him before DRS zone.
he's used all his overtake though, so
Yeah.
Matt could possibly just bide
Matt's
his
going
time.
to tuck back into the slipstream. But yeah, he doesn't look interested in battling Wazee at the moment. As we see Enzo into the pit, we'll see where he comes out. As he's leaving the pit lane now, he will come out ahead of his teammate. So he has lost a massive amount of time, but as Tata and Victor, as Victor's into the pit lane again,
Yeah, Matt's
Danny.
coming back. Oh, is he?
Oh yeah, and Matt gets to move up the inside. Great move from the Mercedes driver. But yeah, Victor's back in the pit lane. From well, he's on a set of mediums now, so another front wing change.
Oh, and Dan Boss and Kevin are fighting at the moment. This is all
very
helping
close
Matty.
to each other.
Well, do you reckon they're just pulling each other along?
It looks like that way at the moment, yes. I think Dan Moss has been following Kevin for quite a while, since Kevin overtook him on about lap 2, I think it was, lap 2, 3.
I must say, having the DRS, it does allow you to save a lot of DRS compared to not, because you gain...
Oh, and we've had a crash. Wazee's out.
Oh.
He's managed to keep the car going, but massive crash from him. He spanned the car 360 degrees and hit both walls.
They build them strong at half.
Well, so yeah, the car's still going. He's let Cat through.
Yeah, so very...
Side by side to him.
Oh!
And he smashed the wall. That's a massive crash.
Oh, that could be a safety car.
It's a virtual safety car. That should be a full safety car, but
it's Codemasters. It's
Yeah,
F1.
no comment. But yeah,
um,
virtual safety car just neutralises the race until they get that car cleared.
Well,
You
I
can
think
see
these
oh,
hard
they've
runners
just cleared it now.
I think the two guys at the front probably wish that was about 20 seconds earlier, because then I would have been basically a free pit stop to come out.
Essentially, yeah. But Matt is 20 seconds behind these guys. I'm not sure what the pit lane loss time is, but I think it is around about 20 seconds.
Yeah, it was
So,
about 16 before so that should start coming down now. I think it was about 16.
whoa! Matt has smashed that VSC restart. He's just gained 3 seconds, Danny.
Yeah, yeah, it's.
And the gap's still coming down. He's down to 4 seconds.
Yeah, under the VSC it kind of extends a little bit. Only a little bit, but not by 4 seconds, so he has gained a lot of time there.
He's absolutely smashed that restart.
So, as the timing is going in, which is
all the delta's gone. We didn't need timing anyway.
As
you
both
see
the medium
the 2 leaders. Yeah, that's quite early for the medium runners, but they're into the pits.
Oh.
Kevin's had a really slow entry. Could leave him vulnerable if he has a slow stop here. Look good from the Ferrari guys, so he should be alright. But Matty will take the lead here, I believe. As we see him fly past into turn 1, he does take the lead just about. But that now gives an incentive for these two. And that VSC restart was crucial, Danny.
Yeah,
he's managed to get ahead of these guys from that VSC restart.
As Kevin is trying desperately to get into match DRS 1.1 the gap.
1.1 at the moment. Obviously he's on cold tyres, so it's going to be harder for him. But he has brought the gap down. He's just got to stick with him through the middle sector now. As we see the 2 racing points are back on the same bit of road.
A little loss between these two.
Yeah.
If lap 1's anything to go by, then these two are probably not
feisty.
But
these guys are they're 3 seconds behind. So if these guys start battling quite harsh, then it's going to give the 2 racing points a chance to get back in this race.
Matt's got a mic.
Yeah, he has, and that's now Kevin right on the back of him. Is he going to go for a move before the straight? No, he thinks better of it. Not much point in overtaking at this part of the racetrack. That's put Matt right under pressure.
If I was Matt, I'd look at him, maybe letting him through and getting that.
We've got is that Danger Man? Not sure. I think someone had a little spin, but we'll flick back to this battle up front as Kevin is. We got a full safety car.
Full safety car.
And that is a crash. That's a crash at the castle section. Will they box? I don't think they will. Matt will. So Matt boxes.
To be honest, it's a good idea.
Pat has to stay out. Marty, I think, he's have to box. He's got nothing to lose. Yep.
Yeah.
So Marty in the pit lane as well. I don't know. The mediums are gonna. It's gonna be right on the limit. They'll be on the safety car for a few laps.
Yeah.
But you don't really want to take those mediums any further than 12 laps.
Yeah. So I think
Marty's got a front wing change again.
Might as well do it. Is that front wing change? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it was for the Renault.
You might as well do
there's
it.
Pitbull in the mix as well.
Yeah.
And Victor as well back in that train. But, I mean, this is going to be very interesting. We've got 3 drivers on hards up front. He has.
I don't know what happened.
Front wing change. Zenzo was about 3 seconds behind coming into the pit lane, so there's no way he would have jumped him. Matt possibly picked up a bit of damage. Well, I don't know when. But yeah, I think that's going to hurt him a bit because Enzo's got good pace. So you know, if he really wants to win this race, he's going to have to take the battle straight to Enzo from the start. Yeah, then try and get ahead of these guys on the hards. Kevin and Dan look to have very good race pace, but obviously they're on a much, much slower tyre. And I think Kata's going to really struggle being at the head of this massive train of medium runners. 6 drivers.
I must say, I think Dan Boss and Kevin possibly made a mistake staying out. I mean, their tyres.
It was very unlucky for them, in all fairness, that, you know, the first lap coming out, that was when the safety car came out, just at the end of that first lap on the hards.
Yeah.
So quite unfortunate for them. They would have had to go on a set hards regardless, so I guess for them it didn't make a difference, because obviously they started on that medium tyre.
I think, yeah, it's a tough one for them. I think, obviously, Kata staying out, nice teammates right behind him on fresh mediums, and so
Well,
I think
we've seen how fast those two can get with each other as well. I don't think Kata's going to be. I don't think he's going to want to let his teammate through. But at the same time, trying to hold him up is going to possibly hurt his chances of.
I think he might have no choice.
Yeah.
One thing for sure is the restart's going to be interesting, because the hard tyres, as the experience from yesterday's race, they do get very cold very quick around here. So possibly I can see the top 3 being vulnerable to the guys behind in the first couple of laps. I mean, if you look on some of the guys' dashboards, their tyres are in the 70s. So it's not great for tyre temperatures around here.
Well, I've been in that situation myself, where you're in P3, you're on an old set of the harder tyre, and you've got just a mass amount of cars behind on the faster tyre. And a lot of the time, if one of them gets you, it's just a chain reaction. You just go further and further down the field. It's going to be difficult for him.
It's one of those things where do I fight it, or do I just let them all safety car in this lap?
Yeah, safety car's in this lap, so Kevin will control the pace now. But you see the pace that they're going at, they're not going to keep those hards in a good window. I think the Kata's best chance here is to just launch it from the restart and try and take both of these down into turn 1. We've seen the slipstream effect down this straight is obviously massive, so
how far will he take it then? Because the new start procedure is at the start line, so will he go all the way to the start line? And
we'll have to wait and see. He's still slowing the pack down. I wouldn't blame him for going as late as possible, but he has bolted now, so here we go on the restart. Kevin has bolted away. It's been a good restart, but it looks like Kata is going to try and get the jump on Danbos into turn 1.
As the weeping still
overtakes, but here comes Danbos. Is he going to go the inside of Kevin into turn 1? He thinks better of it, and Kata can't quite get the move. As we see the battles back down in the field on the mediums. Pitbull down the inside. Mate gives him a squeeze. It's going to be Maudi now who's going to look for the move on Pitbull, as he got squeezed on the apex of turn 1 by Matt. Just about left enough room.
Enzo was weeping.
Matt's going for the move. And Enzo, little double move. Matt's not going to be happy about that. He was going to outbrake him on the outside, on the right hand side.
Enzo was weeping down the straight to get tyre temperature.
And he on the mediums as well.
Yeah, he got absolutely mugged at the restart. I mean, it was a 1 second gap, but now Kevin is bolted.
You saw Kevin on the restart. He had a great restart. He backed them up perfectly, and Danbos still nearly got him into turn 1 without using his overtake.
I think he went way too early. I mean, the new safety car rule is as Enzo
the issue for him
time
is tyre temperature. Obviously, the speed they're going, they're not going to keep those hards within for long.
Yeah.
But Matty's looking racy.
he could have done a factory Bottas from a consistent speed and then just bolted it at the start-finish line, like in Mugello.
It's very predictable. It's the only issue. Obviously, they're going to know exactly when he's going to go. So he would have struggled to get that jump on them, but yeah, he's got a good gap to Dambos now. And Enzo is looking to close on his teammate, but Matty's really pressuring him from behind. So interesting to see as we see Maudi is getting closer and closer to Pitbull, and Victor as well, just behind these guys. Cineflow struggling to keep on the back of them on those set of hards, but he is still in that train. And Danger Man just behind those guys. So we'll see if anybody can make a move down into turn 3. Matt is the closest, but he's not using his overtake. It's not worth it at this stage. But yeah, Enzo's got to start to think about getting a move on soon enough, because this is his best chance. As we see Maudi's out of this race. Danny, he's hit the wall. He's not out, he is still carrying on, but he's lost his whole front wing.
I mean,
and he was looking on for a good result as well. That's a shame for the Renault driver. And Enzo and Kata are battling, and they're side by side. He's going to give him a squeeze, and Kata has to back out of that one. I'm not sure what happened to him. He lost a massive amount of time. No front wing damage, so he is alright. Enzo made a good move up the inside. And that's going to hurt Matty's chances. He's going to need to get past this racing point as soon as possible, as Maudi has retired on the session. Could possibly see another virtual safety car. Oh, and Kata's had a big old... Kata's really struggling at this stage on those hards. And that's now going to give the 3 drivers behind a massive chance into turn 1.
Yeah,
could be absolutely swamped here. See, is Pitbull's struggling as well, so Victor's going to be pressuring him. Matty's going to be pressuring Kata into turn 1. Here he goes then, using his overtake, tucked into the slipstream. Kata's got very good straight line speed. The DRS is now enabled. Matty switches to the outside. Is he going to hold it all the way around the outside of turn 1? He looks like he is. He has to back out a bit last minute. As Kata gives a squeeze, we see Victor up the inside at turn 1, and he's battling with Pitbull. He gives him the squeeze. But Victor's going to go up the inside. They're side by side through turn 2. Wheel banging again. And they're still side by side. And Matty's also looking for a move on Kata, so we'll switch back to that. And he has got past with his DRS finally. And behind them, Victor and Pitbull squeezed. That was right on the limit. There was no carbon fibre that flew off. I think they're all right. But those two really going at it. Victor not hanging around behind Pitbull. He needs to make his way up the field. What can Enzo do now that he is clear of Kata? He is sticking with these guys.
He's on the back of Dambos, but Dambos has DRS and Kevin.
Well, he's going to have to dump the pack just to get past one of these guys, realistically, and then he's going to struggle to keep him behind. So, yeah, Matt is a long way off of DRS after his battle with Kata. But he has dropped Kata as well. So we've got the gap behind. He just needs to bring it down now, and he is slowly bringing it down.
I think he's just got to focus on bringing it down.
Victor now, really pressuring, and this is what I meant. He's just going to fall into the clutches of the guys behind. He's already lost 2 positions, Kata. He is using some of his overtake to try and stay in front. Victor's not got a massive amount, but he has got the DRS and slipstream. Kata goes defensive into turn 1. They're going to be side by side. Can Victor hold it all the way around the outside? He's got the later break in, and they've made contact. Oh, and he's been spanned, and they're both out.
Oh, that was poor from Kata. That was poor.
Victor is retired. He's out of this race. Kata with wing damage as well.
I mean,
and
Kata...
all of a sudden, Cineflow is P5.
Yeah. I mean... You said at the start of this race, it's a race of attrition. You went wrong. We've got almost half the grid has retired now. But from Kata, I'm not sure what he's doing there. I mean, he spins it around and then almost insult to injury. He's just decided to hit him even more. And
Victor's obviously not happy with that, which is rightly so. As we have a full safety car again, and Matt is out.
He hit the
And
inside barrier.
he's... Oh dear. And, oh, that... Wow.
7 cars remaining. Oh,
Wow.
we're gonna get a Monaco.
Oh, and Danger Man's nearly hit the wall under safety car. Nearly out of the race. Yeah. That's
Do you
not
reckon
good
the
from that.
top 2 will box?
I think they're going to have to. They may feel comfortable, but obviously Enzo's tyres are still fresh. We'll see.
Yeah.
Both into the pit lane.
So
Now gives
Enzo's
Enzo track position.
Siniflow
Siniflow do? Siniflow boxes,
boxing.
pitbull boxes, Kata boxes.
So everyone but
assume-
Enzo.
No, Danger Man's gonna... No, yep, Danger Man comes into the pits. So all bar Enzo, so Siniflow with a set of softs. Wow, we've got medium runners. So Dan Boss and Kevin not confident about the softs going to the end. I don't know if that's the right decision.
Unless they didn't have a new set of softs.
Possibly. I would have thought... No, Kevin would have had a new set of softs. He only did...
2 runs.
Well, he only did 1 run on a set of softs.
Yeah.
Because he went on a set of mediums. So he should have 2 new sets. Dan Boss will be the same. I guess they just want to be comfortable to the end, but I don't know. Obviously they're not going to have the same advantage now, as Enzo's tyres are older, but he's still on the same set of rubber. But yeah, I mean, obviously we said it was a race of attrition, but 7 cars left with 10 laps to go. There's not something that I would have predicted. I mean, Enzo's gone from pole to 8th, back up to 4th, and then back up to 1st. So it's a little bit of a roller coaster. The safety car should be out for 1 more lap. So the guys on the softs, they should easily make it to the end, but Siniflow and Kata have got a really good chance now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with Enzo, they're only 5 laps old. They're not massively old, but that probably went first, but 8 laps to go. I don't know how this is going to pan out. I mean,
Well, it's going to definitely be... I mean, I couldn't predict what's going to happen here. We've got 1 driver with old tyres up front, 2 drivers on a new set of the harder tyres, and then a few drivers with softer tyres towards the back. So,
did any of the one thing to look at, penalties. We don't like races being decided on penalties, but we've got to have a look at them. So Enzo has 1 penalty. Kevin is squeaky clean apart from 1 warning. Dan Boss, nothing at all. Siniflow has got 2 warnings. So Siniflow can get a podium here. Enzo needs to build up that gap, or hope that the other guys get some penalties, but Pitbull, 1 warning. Azerbaijan is generally not attracted to get a lot of penalties out, but Kata has got a penalty, and the last car, Danger Man, has 3 warnings but no penalty, which doesn't make sense to me.
okay.
Unless one of those warnings is contact, maybe, but I don't know. That's
I
definitely.
would assume so, yeah.
So yes.
Barring any other crashes bringing out safety cars, we are going to have 8 laps of racing. and it is anybody's guess as to who will come out on top in this race. So safety car is in this lap. We'll have to see what Enzo's plan of action is for this safety car restart. He's backing them right up already, as we would have expected. And the whole grid is separated in one camera shot. Kevin leaving a big gap to Enzo already. Possibly trying to predict when he's going to go. But yeah, Enzo's backing him right up to the latest point that he can. And off he goes on the restart.
Oh,
he's got a good restart. Yeah. And he's got Dambos in his sights. And he's using a lot of his overtake, trying to get up the inside into turn 1. Can he outbrake him? He can up the inside, but there's Pitbull's up the inside as well. And there's contact between 3 of them, but Pitbull's got away with it. Oh, he's been swamped. And Cineflow now looking like
he's on the back.
Here he goes. He's going to try and make a move already into turn 3. He's going to dive up the inside. He is going to stick his nose in. He doesn't quite get the inside.
That would have been great.
Now, he was a long way back, but he's looking quick. And,
he's got to make these attacks now. He's got to make them now because obviously these stop tyres will make it to the end, but you need to do the moves now while they're still fresh. But he is right on the back of them.
What was interesting, Cineflow was looking like the aggressor, and all of a sudden there was an AlphaTauri of Pitbull attacking him, and he's made his way up to P4. And obviously Downbush just got swamped in the restart. But Kata's on the back of Pitbull now, and yeah,
Kevin's best defense maybe attack here, attacking Enzo. Maybe
he's gonna have to. He's obviously going to want to go for victory anyway. Yeah, and Kevin's a little bit further back than he'd want to be from Enzo. He's got overtake to use if he needs it. But he is using it now. He needs to defend, and he looks like he's going to go aggressive on Enzo as well. There's no DRS yet.
Cineflow,
but here comes Cineflow, yeah. Cineflow is going to make the move on the Ferrari driver, and he sets the fastest lap. And down into turn 1, easy move from the Renault driver, and he is now going to chase FXBR Enzo. As we see Pitbull and Kata are still battling behind. Kata's looking to make his way past Pitbull. He needs these moves now, otherwise he is going to have no chance in this race of a victory. Pitbull's still going to hold him behind though, down the straight.
Oh, silly legs on the brakes. I thought that he was going into the back of Enzo then. One thing, Enzo does have a penalty. So
yeah, that will affect him.
Cineflow's got to keep this clean, but DRS is enabled this lap, I believe.
Yeah, he's going to need to get past Enzo though, because the pressure from behind is going to be massive. He makes one mistake on exit, and his tyres, they've started to go off, then he's not going to get back past. As he always brushed the wall at the castle, using all of the track he's got available.
The wall there, a couple of inches to the left, and it could be no wheels. But
Pitbull's right under pressure as well from the other racing project team, Kata. Cineflow, very good exit again.
Kevin's out.
Kevin is, he's going to be under pressure from Pitbull here as well. So. We'll watch as Cineflow, he's used a lot of his DRS. DRS that won't be available yet, so
but he's going to do it anyway.
In the slipstream, he's going to use a little burst of overtake around the outside, and it's going to be good enough to get himself into the lead. Another fastest lap from the Renault driver, but Enzo backs out of it. And he's got the move into the lead of this race. Kevin's managed to survive the attack from Pitbull, and he's also got Kata right behind. Kevin's really struggling, Danny. This could be massive in this race and for the championship.
The unfortunate thing is Pitbull has used a lot of energy. He's down to 6%, where Kevin is on 70%.
Well, he's had to use that to defend from Team Kata behind. Kata's used about 50% of his ERS. And Dambos has just completely fallen off. He's down in P6. and way out of the DRS of Kata.
City Flow's best result in Tier 2, do we know?
P3 in Spain. And oh, look how close Kata is to Pitbull through the Castle section. He really needs to get past Pitbull ASAP, and then he can try and attack Kevin and possibly Enzo as well. I think Kata has got penalty, so it's going to hurt him as well at the end of the race. But you know, for him to make the most of it, he's going to have to.
City Flow's nearly out of DRS. What's the gap?
Yeah, he might be from the detection
Just
zone.
one
He is at the moment.
Oh,
Very close. It's a thousandth, isn't it? And I think he may have got DRS there, Enzo. No, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't. Just about.
He was out by about 1,000. So Sinflow still setting purple laps. As we see, Cat has finally made his way past Pitbull.
He can chase after Kevin
braking
now.
zone. Oh, he's very deep on the brakes. But yeah, he's now has a chance to chase Kevin, who's fallen off the back of Enzo, which is surprising on those fresh mediums.
Flow's got to save some ERS now with 4 laps to go. Enzo's in the DRS. 10 lap old mediums. He's just got to keep it clean. And Enzo makes a slight little mistake that drops him out of DRS. It's just so close to Kata and Kevin are getting close together now. Kata obviously leading this race at some points, and it's been a topsy-turvy race for him.
For all of them, really. I think
Yeah.
they've all had moments, apart from realistically Kevin, all had the moments of the highs and the lows, back into this stage where it could turn back into a high for him, or it could end in disaster. But Siniflow in control at the moment. Looks like Enzo's made another mistake. He's made another mistake. And he's lost front wing. He's lost his front wing, some of it. His right end plate is missing. And that's huge for this race. He's obviously hit the wall just before the final sequence of corners. And I think it's going to be impossible for him to win this race now.
Yeah, unless
and it looks like he's... Oh, I thought he was pulling into the pits then. No, he does stay out, which is logical.
Siniflow is going right to the left-hand side, or down the straight to try and break the toe.
Obviously, he doesn't know that Enzo's got that damage. I think Siniflow should pull away with this one now. But
who would have thought this at the start of the race?
I know. I mean, Siniflow was nowhere through most of the race, but he kept himself out of trouble and was in prime position. Made the perfect pit call and the right tyre choice, which obviously, in hindsight for Kevin, I think he'll be kicking himself a little bit.
As the pit ball is on the back of Kata now.
Yeah, and Danboss has finally dragged his way back up to these guys, so he's going to look to at least get himself to P4.
Danboss, I mean, he was P3 at the restart, and it just fell apart for him. I mean,
well, he was challenging for the leads with Kevin. Like, he looked in control.
And Siniflow got past, and then Pitbull got past, and then they just all. It was almost like let them through, like one after the other. And obviously that's meant that he's down in P6, which normally you'd be like, yeah, that's decent points, but he's second last.
Yeah, in a race like this, obviously that is not
it's a missed opportunity. But as Pitbull is right on the back of Kata now.
But Damos is closer. Damos is closer to Pitbull, so this is his opportunity to get himself past the AlphaTauri and then have a go at TMR Kata. Kevin has got himself in the DRS range of FXB Lorenzo as well. And all three of these are going to be bottlenecked going into turn 1. As it's going to be 3 wide nearly. Danny, he's going to go on the inside.
Oh!
Danboss thinks better of it, but Pitbull breaks the latest and he's got the move on TMR Kata. And it's now Danboss's time to get past TMR Kata if he can into turn 3. But I think Kata's going to have the straight line speed with DRS and slipstream of Pitbull. Pitbull is running out of ERS. So he's going to have to save some in this middle sector. The other two behind him are still on about 30% each.
Kevin is closed off the back of Enzo.
Yeah, Yeah, Enzo's really struggling now. With the one penalty he has, he's realistically looking to keep himself ahead of this battle for P4, so he can still stand on the podium. See how much he's struggling now.
2.8. So he needs another 2 attempts in there.
Kata! Oh my goodness! He was sideways through the castle section.
Dan Boss is looking to get past.
Yeah, the moment for Kato, he's sliding all over the place. It's now put him right under pressure. He's not in DRS range, and even if he gets himself back into DRS range, he's going to struggle as he's so far behind. He's not going to get the slipstream effect. Kevin possibly looking for a move on Enzo into turn 1, but Damos is looking a lot closer. I don't think Kevin's going for the move. I think he may stay behind him for the rest of the race, as he knows he's got a penalty. But here comes Dambos. Move on TMY Kata. Kata leaves the inside open, but he's fighting back with the overtake. Dambos is going to have to use a burst of it to keep himself ahead, and he has made the move, switches back onto the racing line. And that is the move done for the Alfa Romeo.
It's weird because it seems like Kata's dropping off, but Stinifly seems to be perfectly fine up front. I mean, gap's 2 seconds. It may be that obviously
I
Enzo's...
think the tyres are now dropping off, but the front wing damage for Enzo has ruined it for him. Yeah, the gap's been staying about 2 seconds, which obviously, as I said, Enzo with wing damage. Danger Man's off. Yeah, I mean, even if he takes it to the end of this race, you know, it's his best finish so far. So
yeah,
I'm sure he'll be reasonably happy with that.
6 points for 7th place.
Yeah,
I believe. So it's points on the board.
I mean, there was a similar race to this in season season 14 at Monaco, where I believe there was only 6 finishers.
Yeah.
And I was the 6th finisher on that day, which obviously, you know, if there's 6 finishers, that's not where you want to be, but
Was
points
that
are points
when,
at the end of the day.
Was that when I finished 3rd? Was it that race?
That was that race, yes. Yeah.
And it was one of those where 3rd was almost disappointing because at one point I was leading. And it's one of those weird things because it was my first podium in STB.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you. Damos is going for the move on pitbull, and he's made the move stick before the braking zone to turn 1. So into the final lap we go, and Damos has finally got himself back onto P4. He's now going to keep pitbull behind for 1 lap, and he'll get some good points as we see Kevin's going to go for a move on Enzo here. This could be it for P2 as he goes around the outside, and Enzo cannot fight on the inside. And Kevin is now up into P2, but look at the gap, Danny. Look at the gap, it's 1 second. Cineflow's dropping off massively. Can Kevin get close enough? And is he going to win his 4th race in a row here? This is going to be so close.
So they've both got similar ERS.
And Enzo's still in this fight. This is going to be squeaky bum time for the pair of them. Cineflow has hit the wall as well. I think he's got away with damage, but now that leaves Kevin right on the back on this Renault. This is going to be a dash to the line. What is the ERS like? They've both got the exact same amount, but Kevin's going to have DRS and slipstream. Cineflow needs a good exit off of the final corner. Kevin with a little burst of ERS. Who's going to get the better exit? Cineflow's so slow on those softs, but he's got a decent enough exit. He's going to be a dash to the line, Danny. Who's going to win this race? As they're coming up to the line, just dumping the pack what they've got left. And it looks like Kevin's a little bit too far back on this occasion. I'm not sure he's going to get the move, but Cineflow's running out of the race. Coming up to the line, it's going to be Cineflow who wins his first round. Oh no! He's dropped down to P2. I think that's a timing glitch.
That's a timing glitch. It won't be 3 tenths.
Cineflow has won his first Grand Prix in STB. And Kevin just missing out by the slimmest of margins. He will be P2. Dambos in the end gets the podium in P3. Enzo misses out by 100th, Danny. on 1/10, sorry, on the podium position. Pitbull finishes in P5. Not sure what happened to Kata in the end. I think he had a collision because he was a long way down, and P7 will be Danger Man, his best result in STB, so I think he'll be content with that. But wow, I thought Kevin had it on the final corner, but
I think that's exit from.
Well, he had the exit, Danny, and he just short shifted, and he didn't get the drive out the corner. But driver of the day goes to Cineflow from the game, and my driver of the day would be Cineflow as well, quite easily. A great drive from the Renault driver, and he takes his first victory in STB.
Yeah, it was a great race by him, and I mean, it was tight there at the end. I thought when he hit the wall at the castle section,
I thought Kevin had him.
Yeah.
I think Kevin was too cautious on the exit. And
He got a bit of
just about had
oversteer
enough
as well,
revs.
because the gap went from 3 temps to 4 temps.
Well, as I said, it was because he short shifted. He had the power, and then he short shifted, and then I think floored the throttle because he didn't get the drive that he wanted. And obviously that affected him in the end. But yeah, it was Cineflow that won the Grand Prix. F&T Kevin, for the first time in 3 races, is not on the top step of the podium, but he will finish P2 in his championship hunt. F&T Dan Boss will finish on the podium yet again in P3. Enzo just missing out in P4. Pitbull will finish P5. TMR Kata with 2 penalties in the end, and I think a collision at the end drops him down to P6. I think he'll be disappointed with that. Danger Man, his best result of the season in P7. And your long list of retirees were Matty Banter, FXBR Victor, STB Maudi, Martino, Wazzy, LCL Typhon, and FXBR Davy. Wow, what a race.
Yeah. I mean, that had everything, didn't it? I mean,
we had 2 safety cars, 2 virtual safety cars,
I think
alternate strategies, we had battles,
Cineflow will be
contact.
definitely enjoying that one. I mean, definitely thanking Burton and because he was. I mean, the first stint he was probably mid-pack, top 6 maybe. You wouldn't have thought he'd be at the front, but that choice by him to go onto the softs proved crucial.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think Kevin he'll look back as what could have been. We don't often see him make any mistakes. I'd say that is. I would say that is his least consistent race to date, and he still finishes P2. So that shows you the level of driver that he is, and the level of the driving that he's at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin will be almost disappointed with that. But the thing is,
P2.
It's good points for him, and it's good points for the championship. And yes, he may not be obviously winning the race, but another podium, and so yeah, that's he's got to be happy with that, I guess.
Well, it was a good race. As they say, well done, Baku. We will definitely come back again next season. But yeah, my driver of the day was Cineflow. Who was your driver of the day in the end, Danny?
I've got to agree with you, Cineflow. I mean, he was 4th into that safety car restart and to win the race, decisive overtakes, and yeah, my driver of the day, as the F1 game agrees to us as well.
Well, that concludes the season 17 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Kevin takes a bigger step towards that championship yet again, but this week he was not on top. But yeah, Cineflow takes his first victory in STB. with no interviews for tonight again, but yeah, Cineflow is very happy with his result, as we've seen in the chat. So yeah, next week we head to the streets of Canada, so from one street track to another, this time on a pre-built circuit, but do join us next week, first on Monday for our Tier 1 race, which will be hosted by STB Maudi and Riggsy. And then we will have the Tier 2 race on the Tuesday, same time as usual. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all next week.